Hey, what's up guys? Good to see you here on the channel. So a lot of you have asked for an update on the bunker. So that's what we're going to do today. And I'm going to give you a list of things that I would do totally different if I were to build another underground bunker. So learn from my mistakes, because trust me, it's way cheaper. Okay, so first of all, this video is going to be just about things I would do different. If you want to see the construction of the actual bunker, then I'll put a link in the description below. So the first thing I would do different, I do love this door. I got it off the internet. I think it was safedoors.com or something like that. But, you know, I built this for tornadoes in the very beginning. But as it progressed, I was like, hey, this would be cool if there was a nuclear fallout or what have you. But that was not the original intent for this bunker. It was just storms. So when I bought this door, it has a digital keypad that you install right here. I never installed it because my original idea was to put some kind of roof out here, maybe have a little cook shed, what have you. Well, life happened and that construction never took place. But if you were to use a digital keypad and there were EMP blast or something, as many of you guys have commented, this thing would be fried. So I think I would do a little different door design, have it more manual, no electronics. So it's been about 3 years since the original construction video and when we put the bunker in the ground. So I see on this door, we've got a little bit of rust happening right here and up top. But again, this door wasn't meant for exterior use. So if you're gonna have an exterior facing door, you may wanna go with a little bit different design. Now I haven't been in here in a couple of weeks. So you guys are gonna see it just as I'm seeing it for the first time. I do like this door and entryway. However, I think what I would do differently is if you were going to use it for a nuclear fallout shelter, I think this would be a great spot to put a washdown area. So you're coming in from outside, you have an immediate spot to get clean before you go down into the bunker. And so first thing that's catching my eye, we've had a lot of rain lately and I haven't been down here. We haven't been running the fan. We've got some condensation building on the roof of the entryway. Now I came in with Flex Seal and painted this whole entire entryway, and I honestly haven't seen condensation build up like that, but I think due to the fact we haven't had the fan on, I haven't been down here in so long, we've just got a little bit of kind of stagnant air buildup. All right, let's flip the light on and let's go on down and see what's happening down below. And here's another thing I would do differently, because this is a head knocker. Now I'm just probably going to just put some Nerf, one of those pool noodle things up here so you don't conk your head off. But to be honest, you know, I didn't know how, this was a first time build. I didn't know what I was doing. So that's the purpose of this video, is to show you guys, hey, this is what I would do different if I were to do it again. So I think probably the biggest change that I would make to the entire bunker is this is a 10-foot diameter piece of culvert pipe. And so what I did, I came in and put the floor 3 feet off the very bottom of the pipe. And that theoretically would give me 7 feet of headspace. But I'm only 5'8", and my head hits when you come down here. And then also you can see this light bar, I barely clear it. So I think I would recess the floor down at least another 6 inches, maybe an entire foot. But when I was building it, I wanted that 3 feet of storage for all the stuff that we have under the floor. So I think I would much rather sacrifice a little underground or underfloor storage for a little bit more head height. The next thing is drainage all around the pipe. So if you can see here, we've got a little bit of water that's been creeping in through the bulkhead. And I think what I would do different, I know what I would do different. I would coat this thing better with some type of water resistant paint, or maybe you'd want to tar the entire thing or some type of membrane, but we just painted the outside with just a general exterior paint. And some of the welds, when they were welding the pipe, obviously didn't hold all that good because we've got some water coming in here. And then I see a little bit of drainage problem right here where we've had some leaking from this seal that goes all around where the entryway connects to. Now this does have a gasketed rubber seal, but I think just in time it's settled a little bit and we've got some leaking. So I don't know, and maybe you guys can leave in the comments below what would be a good impermeable seal to put around this thing before we put it in the ground. Should have done something different there. And then one of the biggest pains in my ass has been not the bathroom itself, but the conduit that I ran down in here to run the plumbing and all of the electrical. We had a 2-inch piece of pipe that we ran down. It goes into the very bottom of the bunker. We backfilled around this whole bunker with rock in the beginning, and that conduit broke during the backfilling process. That allowed water to come in, and this is another very important part. If you're going to put a bunker in, you got to have a drain, or if you're going to put a drain in, put it in the very bottom of the floor. So mine comes in like on the bottom of the pipe, but it comes in perpendicular to the wall. So if we were to have a leak, you're still going to have a little bit of water that's going to collect in the bottom of the bunker, and it's been an absolute nightmare with that conduit. We had to dig it all back up, run new conduit. So I guess I would use probably like a Schedule 80 pipe to run your conduit, something super tough, super rigid, so that when you backfill with dirt or what have you, it doesn't break and you don't go through the nightmare that we had to go through. So then down here, actually in the bathroom, this is my breather pipe. So we've got two breathers at each end of the bunker, and they're both at different levels to create a draft. So you can kind of get at least some natural airflow coming through the bunker. But either condensation or the breather pipe itself has developed a leak, and so we've got a little bit of staining coming down into the shower due to that. So I'm not exactly sure how to tell you guys to fix it. I'm just showing you problems that I'm having so that if you do something similar, you can address it before you have to deal with it once it's underground, which makes it much more difficult. The other consideration you got to take in is what kind of flooring you're going to put in your bunker. Now, I subfloored all this up with just, it's actually untreated wood. That's another thing. I would use treated just because of the humidity that you can get down here. And then we just came in with this laminate flooring. But I think due to the humidity, you see how this is kind of buckling up right here? I'm not happy with that because we have to cover it with rugs just to keep from stubbing your toe. But this is one of the 3 secret hatch doors that you can pop up and access your underground storage. But I definitely would do something that can handle the humidity and not buckle up on you. So flooring is a big one that we kind of need to rethink. And then another thing you got to think about that I certainly did not think about was when I backfilled around this pipe. You know, we make compost. And so I said, hey, that'll be a good lightweight material that we can use. We can grow grass on top of it, which all that's true. But the compost wasn't finished breaking down yet. So when I backfilled around this entire pipe, the compost heated the bunker up. I mean, it got pretty dang warm down here. Summertime, you couldn't be down here. Wintertime, it was fantastic. Now, it's been 3 years, so that compost has done its thing. It's broken down. We don't have that temperature variation anymore, and it stays about a constant 68 down here year-round. But that being said, if I were to do it again, I think I would use like either just a lot of rock just to get that water away from the bunker and out, or some type of well-draining sand, but I would not use compost again because that was stupid. And then going back to tie into what I was talking about having some type of impermeable layer around it, or just, you know, much better drainage, you can see that this bulkhead on this end has started leaking a little bit too. It's nothing crazy. It's not a ton of water that comes in. It doesn't flood the bunker or anything, but you can see the staining. So this is just a big mural thing that I bought offline, but you can see it starting to discolor right here. So we do have a little bit of water leaking in. It'll drain out, but it's not something you want to have. You know, obviously you don't have any water coming into the bunker. We want it as dry as possible. So that's one of the most important things, is getting that water away from the exterior of your bunker and getting it away before it has time to find little weak spots and come in like it did here. And so another excellent point that you guys have made is we only got one way out, and that's the safe door. So again, I was built this for tornado purposes. This was not a safe house or anything like that. But if I was doing it all over again from scratch, I would do some secondary exit, just another way out. Because with this door, the one thing we did right was make this door to where it opens inside. So if a big tree, we did have a tornado, or a tree fell down or something, the door opens to the inside. Now, I probably need to put a jack or a saw or some sort, just because even though you can get the door open, if a tree were to fall right there, you need some kind of tool or tool saw to move that tree out of the way. But the door opening inside, I think, is a plus, because if you had a door that opened to the outside, obviously that would be blocked. And lastly, I've seen a couple other builds that used concrete, and I thought that was a great idea. So when we set the bunker down into the hole, I brought in a concrete truck and we dumped some on top. Well, obviously it's going to spill down. Well, what I didn't anticipate was the bunker trying to float up, which it did. Luckily, we had the excavator here and we quickly got the boom out there on it and held it down. But I think two things. One, bunkers will float in concrete, believe it or not. It pushed the thing right up off the ground. But two, that concrete, since I only just poured it on the base, my thought was, you know, something just to kind of seat this thing in the ground, to really hold it, to concrete it literally into the ground, something just to really grab on and hold. But in doing so, I only put it along the bottom. And I think what has happened is we've got native soil, the compost that we added, water's going down through that material, hitting that thin layer of concrete and holding there. And I think that's adding to the drainage problem that we're having, because that water's got nowhere else to go. It's going to find these weak spots and pop through just like it already has. So if I were to do it again, I think I would just use no concrete at all. Just use nothing but rock that goes down to a French drain type system that would just carry that water right away from the entire bunker. Well guys, that's going to do it for the bunker update. I sure do appreciate all the new subs that have come over. Appreciate everybody for watching my videos. If you have any suggestions or comments or want to know anything about the bunker, drop it in the comments down below and I will write back to it personally. Thank y'all so much. We'll see you on the next video.